It is Monday, March 31st, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I'm Chris Rose, producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. Hope you had a great first baseball weekend. Did you consume a ton of it?
I did, Chris. It was a great weekend here to watch baseball, sports in general. The weather was beautiful, so I had some barbecue time.
Oh, nice.
So I got to watch outside. I watched inside with the kids, and I thought baseball did a really good job with the matchup. So
Excellent.
we were already excited because obviously it was opening weekend, but the matchups were good as well. And I can't wait to get into it with you. And I noticed you popped your chain at the beginning, so I popped my chain as well.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little frisky today.
Yeah, if I had a collar, I'd be popping the shit out of that thing too. A few things. You can pop this thumbs up button. Please please subscribe to this video. We appreciate it when you do. And also, don't forget, the second episode of Dugout Discussions with Chris Rose is out. Mike Trout, your three-time AL MVP, is our guest. Plus, we got questions with the Queen. And a little surprise, we get video bombed by another former MVP and a guy who will join Mike Trout in Cooperstown, in my opinion. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
Kind of fun. Go out and check it out. It's a good word.
I'm excited for that. I'm curious to see what you got out of Mike Trout.
Yes.
You're going to have to watch.
You are going to have to watch. He got a little frisky with some stuff, actually. I asked him a question, and he was like, yeah, it pisses me off. I was like, ooh, okay, interesting. All right, we're going to start off a huge weekend with a little tip of the cap to what's going on down there in Miami. 3 walk-off wins against the Pirates, and then on Sunday, Jeff Conine becomes the inaugural member of the Legends Hall of Fame. He's hanging out with his beautiful family there. And then the one who's he wasn't wearing a full uniform because he was so proud of Dad. He actually had to go to work later in the day.
1-2, that's in the air to left center field. It's got a little giddy up on it. Sawinski back, looking up, gone! On a day we gotta celebrate his dad, he says, don't forget about me. Griffin Conine ties it here in the 7th.
Awesome.
It's incredible, Chris. I can't even imagine. That's literally dream type stuff right there.
For people that never had a chance to see Jeff Conine play, he was an animal. He's like a brick shit house, and he is Mr. Marlin. Mr. Marlin. He won 2 rings, 97 and 03 with them. And people may or may not know this. He's an amazing racquetball player. Like, he used to spot. What do you play racquetball up to? 21? Is that what it is?
I don't really know.
Okay, whatever it is, whatever the number is, he would spot people like a 20-0 lead, and he would still beat them. That's how good he is.
Was he the only member of the 97 and 2003 teams? Is there somebody else that did that as well?
I don't believe so, because remember, they virtually got rid of everybody in 98 after they won the first one. We'll see if Dan can get that to us. He doesn't even understand the question, folks. He doesn't understand that he's trying to find out if Jeff Conine was the only member of both the 97 Marlin and the 03 Marlin championship team. So you could just put it in the little chat down there. Maybe we'll get back to it at some point. Of course, Jeff Conine won his second ring against the New York Yankees, and the Yankees, boy, they were off to a flying start this weekend. Let's see here. They scored 36 runs in a 3-game sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers, many because of stuff like this.
3-2 count on Aaron Judge, 1 man out. Driven deep to left field. He's done it again. See ya. A monster 2-run home run. Can't keep him in the park.
No, it couldn't. He hit 4 of the Yankees' 15 homers this weekend. Usually that would be where we begin and end the discussion is with Aaron Judge. That is not what we're going because of the torpedo bats that were all over the Bronx. You saw a bunch of players, not Aaron Judge, but Jazz Chisholm was one of, 4 or 5 Yankees that were out there in the starting lineup using them. They've got this different barrel shape. It looks more like a bowling pin than anything else. And Jazz had a huge weekend himself. He had 2 homers on Sunday. He had another one earlier in the series. So he hit 3 of the Yankees' 15 homers. And then afterward, yes, he talked about the newfound lumber.
We fired torpedoes all around the park, you feel me? It still felt like my bat. It feels good. Hit the ball off the barrel. Feel comfortable in the box, you know. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know the science of it. I just play baseball, you know what I'm saying?
Me too, bro. Me too. I'm in on that statement.
Let's make this very, very clear. The Yankees are not doing anything illegal. Nothing. I saw your video on Saturday. You nailed it, Trev.
It's become obviously the hottest topic in baseball right now, and it's kind of like silly that it's become this way. I think it really is just Torpedo bat's an interesting name. The fact that the Yankees went off and did what they did offensively, all of it combined really made for just a whirlwind of news. And really, when you actually talk to guys that are playing, they're like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like people were using it last year. Francisco Lindor is using it. Ryan Jeffers is using it. Like the different bat companies are using it. It's not just one bat company. So like it's been around, and essentially how I kind of perceive it is, yeah, I understand. Look, you're getting set up, and they're saying, okay, where do you make contact with the ball the most on your bat? And where that is, each player they'll move the barrel or the most of the mass of the bat towards that region. And that's really all it is. I think it really helps out, not only because now you're making contact with the barrel more often because they're putting it where you make contact more often, but I also think, and this is something you kind of have to like have done it to understand, but when you take like a short bat in the batting cage, which is like a training tool, it's very hard to miss the barrel when the barrel is so close to your hands. So the barrel getting moved down more towards the hands, I think it creates a little bit more barrel accuracy as well. So again, this is not some PED type thing. It's just a different shape of a bat. Some guys don't like it, Chris. Some guys are like, no, this feels horrible. And they talked about if you don't hit it on the barrel, it's worse than a typical tapered bat. So I think there's a lot of hoopla over nothing, to be honest with you. I really do. This isn't, I mean, yeah, our guys going to try it throughout the league who haven't tried it yet. Manny Machado hadn't even heard of it, which was interesting to me. And guys around the league had kind of said that. But I think guys will try it. Some guys will like it. Some guys won't. You still have to do all the things right. But look, man, we've been waiting for this. How many times have I talked about it on our show, Chris? Like the pitcher's tech is ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And hitters have to do something. This is a completely legal. I talked to someone very high up at the Players Association to make sure that it was legal, and he clarified that all these bats have to get checked in spring training, and the manufacturers have to go through rigorous testing, all these things. So everything's legal. Again, I think it's not that big of a deal, and we'll kind of like this story will die down eventually.
Okay, first of all, credit to Aaron Leanhard. He's the guy who came up with it when he was working with the Yankees. He has since then moved on to the Marlins. And if I were him, I would quit tomorrow and make myself a free agent. I swear to God, that guy could probably retire on just this little hot run. That's it. He could be the new Hawk girl, and that would be it. I'll say, seriously, that's it. Get blazing hot for like 4 weeks, and then we'll see you, kid. That's it. Good for you. I found the quote by Trevor McGill, the Brewers reliever, fascinating. His take was, I think it's terrible. This is what he told the New York Post. We'll see what the data says. I've never seen anything like it before. I feel like it's something used in slow pitch softball. It's genius. Put the mass all in one spot. It might be Bush League. It might not be, but it's the Yankees, so they'll let it slide. I was fine with him until the end. Come on.
I'm not fine with any of that. He goes, I'm going to go see what the data says. That's what we're working against. Pitchers who have so much data on every single hitter, who can go invent pitches in every single bullpen they throw. I'm sick of it. Look, man, like I respect the McGill family, and it has nothing to do with him. But like, this is ridiculous.
Well, it does.
This is why I get so mad at pitchers, Chris. This is why I get so mad at pitchers, dude. They have the advantage in every situation. They control the variables. They get to win over 75% of the time. And because there's something different happening and their team gets absolutely slacked over the weekend, now we're blaming something. Like, come on, man. Again, there's been hitters that have used this Torpedo bat and don't like it. It's not an end-all be-all, dude. It's just like it's an advancement, and that should have been here years ago, in my opinion.
Okay. I didn't like his last line, but it's the Yankees, so they'll let it slide.
I guarantee people in the Brewers have tried it and possibly might be using it as well.
Yeah. It just that sounded a little crybaby-ish to me. I thought it was a little weird. And I heard enough of it during the NFL season about how the referees are backing the Kansas City Chiefs. Stop. Enough. Please stop that. The Yankees kick their ass, and it happens. And the Yankees aren't going to go 162-0, and they're not going to hit 15 homers every 3-game series. And by the way, they're going against a Brewers team which has several starting pitchers already on the injured list, and they threw out like 4 or 5 guys who are making their big league debut this weekend, and they weren't prepared. I mean, they might have been prepared. They just weren't prepared for the big moment, and that's what happened. The big question to me, and I haven't quite figured it out yet, I'm going to admit this, I don't know if it should be legal. I think that there are because people say, well, they've been doing it to tennis rackets and to golf clubs for years. Those are individual sports. These are team sports. It's a little bit different in my opinion. Although somebody could throw an argument that makes me sway the other direction. It just looked funky. And maybe because it's so new that I'm just not used to it. But I don't want teams hitting 15 home runs in a 3-game series if you have 2/3 of your lineup doing this, and that's what it ends up being. I just don't want that.
It's not, dude. It's not. Pitchers are still gonna win a ton. Offense isn't gonna suddenly skyrocket because of these bets. I see that all over social media right now. It's like, man, this is gonna be crazy. Offense is gonna skyrocket. They gotta ban these things. It's like, no, that's not gonna happen, dude. Like, it was a huge series. But again, go look around baseball. Ryan Jeffers used one. The Twins got swept by the Cardinals. Like, dude, we are, this isn't just some brand new thing that's going to change the game of baseball. It's an advancement not even an advancement. It's just a different shaped barrel. Like,
but in no other sport,
there's nothing
no other team
illegal with
can
this.
you do it? I know, but in no other team sport can you affect the equipment. We're talking about the equipment. You can't do it in football. You can't change your equipment to get an advantage. You can't do it in basketball because there is no equipment. It's not like you can pump up shoes that'll make you jump through the gym. In
See, that's
hockey,
the different. I think that's the comparison. I think shoes can be different in basketball. Guys use different shoes, high tops, low tops, whatever it may be.
Trevor,
What do you mean?
Trevor, there is no way that you can compare.
I think you're reading
high tops.
You're reading too far into like what this bat actually can do. Like, this is not some fucking
we don't
Fortnite
know yet.
epic gun that kills everyone it's not a one-shotter, bro. Like, it's not.
But we don't know that yet.
We do know that, Chris. I'll tell you why. People have been using it since last year. We never heard a peep about it, dude. And because the Yankees teed off on some Brewers pitching, all of a sudden it's gone crazy. Again, Francisco Lindor is using this bat. Ryan Jeffers, amongst many other guys in the league, and we're not even talking about them. It's because they went off and did it, dude. It was the perfect storm for this to happen.
All I'm saying is this. Number one, the Yankees did nothing wrong. Zero wrong. And as a sport, you just have to decide what you want your sport to look like. The NFL moves it all the time. For too long, the defense was winning. So we changed the penalties. They will change shit mid-season. They have changed rules mid-season. Baseball has been a bit slower in certain areas. So all of the question is do they like what they see if, let's say, all 30 teams, we have half of the lineups using it, and then all of a sudden we are seeing pitchers get their brains beat in. All I want to say is that if that happens, they're going to have to make a decision. They don't have to do it based on one weekend in the Bronx. They don't at all. That's all I'm saying. Just keep your eyes open. That's it. Is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah. It's not.
What?
I mean, again, it's just it got made into too big of a deal.
Okay. You and I can agree on that.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Let's move on to the
Francisco Lindor went 0 for 11, and he uses a torpedo bat. So, like,
I get it. There was great and there was not great. By the way, let us know down below in the comments where you stand on the whole torpedo issue. Do you love it? Did you dig it? Was it an isolated incident? Do you think it's something baseball should keep its eyes on? Go ahead. Fire away. San Diego Padres. What an impressive start. First 4-0 start for them since 1984. Nick Pivetta was awesome on Sunday night. 7 shutout innings in his Padres debut. San Diego sweeps the Atlanta Braves, consecutive shutouts to wrap it up on Saturday and Sunday. What was the most impressive thing that you saw to San Diego?
There's a lot of impressive things, and I'm happy. I love watching the San Diego Padres play baseball. I think a lot of people, wrote them off before the season because there was talks of trading King and Cease, and it just like didn't feel like a great offseason for them. But they're, as we mentioned, like they're still great players there and guys that are a lot of fun to watch. So I'll go with bullpen. The bullpen. They went 16 innings pitched, 1 earned run for the bullpen. That's really nice to start your season off that way. Obviously, their starters, Pavetta came and had a really good start today, or excuse me, on Sunday. The last lead for the Braves was the top of the 7th in the first game, man. And I guess that's what I'm impressed with most overall is just keeping that Atlanta offense as quiet as they did. Starters did a good job, but the bullpen for me, 16 innings pitched, 1 earned run. They covered 6 1/3 in the first game, 4 2/3, then 3 and then 2. And we're just lights out, man. They got a bunch of different weapons down there in that bullpen. So I'm just excited for San Diego. I want them to be good. I think they're again one of the most fun teams to watch in baseball, especially at that park.
I was going to go with that, but I can talk about 3 other things very quickly. One is that Fernando Tatis is like all the way back.
He looks incredible.
He just, the way he's moving, the way he's running bases, hell, he even gets a freakish double to lead off the night for them. He just can do everything. And I think he's probably, without having talked to him, but hopefully I will in the next few weeks, he seems like he's at peace with kind of where he is in the game. I think he was probably a little worried when he came back about the reception being such a popular player and having to deal with the suspension and everything else that came along with it. He looks amazing. Jackson Merrill's incredible.
Yeah.
That freaking kid is a stud on both sides of the baseball. The fact that he was a shortstop and they're like, yeah, go play center field, and he took this. He's one of several Padres who made great defensive plays over the weekend against Atlanta. It's going to be a huge part of their game too, man. They can do everything.
No, I'm excited for them. And he had a couple interesting at-bats against Sale where he just kind of hung in there. That's not an easy at-bat, dude.
Yeah. For that,
he had that base hit up the middle, kind of stuck his bat. It wasn't a pretty swing necessarily, but he puts the ball in play, like just gets the job done. Pretty impressive, man.
We were asking on one of last week's shows whether or not we felt like if the Giants could pass them. Like, I think we both feel like the Diamondbacks are the second best team. And then we asked whether or not the Giants could pass them. And we both said, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I really think that their MVP come the end of July will be A.J. Preller. I've said it, and people took a dump on it in the comments. They're like, he's a horrible. He makes it fun for Padres fans. You got to stay on your toes because if they're short somewhere, he's going to try and figure out how to empty that piggy bank and go get somebody in there. So
4-0, baby. Ryan Cohen's going off.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. That's the way it should be in the beginning of the year. All right, today's episode sponsored by MLB 9 Innings, a Major League Baseball game you can play in the palm of your hands. MLB 9 Innings has a wide variety of game modes, from league mode, where users can play through a season, to live player v. player. 9 Innings has over 2,000 player cards to collect and use in your dream roster. MLB 9 Innings has the most up-to-date rosters, team logos, ballparks, and uniforms. 9 Innings has also added new historic players to the game like Joe DiMaggio, Satchel Paige, Kirby Puckett, Derek Jeter, and the newest Hall of Famer, Adrian Beltre. You may have already seen it, but MLB 9 Innings has released an incredible trailer this year as well. Mike Trout, Ken Griffey Jr., even Greg Maddux are in it. So check out the trailer on the MLB 9 Innings official YouTube channel. Download and play MLB 9 Innings 25 today. Click the link in the description. Go do your work. Dan Rourke, our producer, did some work. Jeff Conine was the only member of the Marlins to win in both 97 and 03. Danny, good job, brother. Good job.
I think I'm going to try. I want to be in the Twins Hall of Fame. And look, obviously I wasn't good enough as a player,
so
but
you're a broadcaster.
If I do player and broadcasting for long enough, maybe.
You know, you would come back. Does your dad have silver hair?
No, no. I mean, he's got it's streaky.
Okay, streaky. Like,
Yeah.
so you would have to put in like 30 years though.
Yeah, I know, Chris. Trust me.
So,
I'm not saying this is like something that's just gonna happen, but I think,
so I could see this like late 60s. You come
yeah,
back, they won't be playing at Target. They'll be onto their new field by then.
yeah,
And you'll be in your late 60s, a great looking like grandfather by then. One of your kids
yeah.
will have like a 2-year-old running around, and they're gonna be
Teddy
like,
hits a homer on the day I get put in the
"Oh,
Hall of
stop.
Fame.
Stop, don't do that." And then the little grandkids are gonna be like, "Papa play baseball?
Yeah.
Papa play." I can see it. See, look at the
Uh,
twinkle in your eye.
I look, it's a goal of mine, okay? I don't know how realistic it is, but hey, could
Start the
happen
start the campaign today, right now,
right
on the
now.
last day of March for baseball today. It starts now. I might be long gone by then. But if I'm
20
even if
years, you're
I'm
not gonna
through
be gone?
30 years.
I don't know if I had to put I don't know if I'm gonna put 30 years in. I don't know if I got 30 in me.
I
We'll
saw
see.
your stats. You have to put 30 in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe I don't have a chance. Okay, that's fine.
So the campaign just started and ended in 47 seconds?
Hey, I get myself into good situations somehow. I don't know how.
Yes, you will.
Just
You
put
can sweet
myself
talk them
there.
with the best of them. Hey, Jake Snakes and the Cubs split a wild 4-game series in the desert. And what was the eye-opening part of the weekend? Eugenio Suarez, a 4-homer series. He was awesome. Cubs with an 8-run 8th inning on Sunday in order to earn the split. During that 8-run 8th inning, pitcher Ryan Nelson with a pinch hit single for the Diamondbacks, or that Dansby Swanson had that unreal defensive play to end Saturday's win for the Cubbies.
There was so much that was going on. I love seeing Gino ball out and do that. He actually made some nice plays at third base as well. But I want to talk about Dansby and the play to end the game, because that to me is awesome. Obviously, Corbin Carroll, the play, understands the runner. You saw where he was playing up the middle. That ball right there is one of the toughest balls for a shortstop. And I believe Larkin here, the third base coach, was sending the runner. He thought he was going to throw, which is kind of crazy. And Dansby just gives the fake little okey doke and beats him right there and gets the tag. It's just a heads up play. They talked to Dansby after the game, and basically the reporter asked him, like, where were you looking? Like, was that your plan the entire time? He said it was split vision. As I've played, baseball for a long time. So it's just kind of a feel thing. And that's exactly what it is. But when he's going to get that ball, not only is he going and he's focusing on fielding it, but in his mind, he's saying, if I pump right here, I want to see what this runner on third base does. He understands the third baseman's off going for that ball, so he can't throw it there. But I mean, that play is just, it's a walk-off defensive play. I love stuff like that, Chris. So kudos to Dansby, who's just been doing that in his entire career.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it's not the first walk-off defensive play that he has made in that stadium. Remember with the Atlanta
Yes.
Braves, he made one where diving play to his left, here it is,
Yep.
and they were trying to score the game-tying run, and I think that's Nick Ahmed that he gunned down at the dish. So he actually reminisced about that following Saturday's win. And let's remember way back when he was the number 1 overall pick by the Diamondbacks and then traded very quickly to the Atlanta Braves. I want to say that was that in the Shelby Miller deal? Yes, it was. It was Dansby, Aaron Blair, and Ender Inciarte. That was
For
less
Shelby
than
Miller?
yeah, for Shelby Miller and Gabe Spire, whom I don't really remember. But
It's a good trade for the Braves.
yeah, hell of a trade. Particularly,
Shit.
he was traded 6 months after being the first overall pick in the draft.
That's crazy.
That is bizarre.
I forgot about that. No, he's so heads up right there.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
it's just one of those situations, if you're a young ball player out there, it's going over those situations in your head before the play happens. Dansby understood that entire time what he was going to do with that ball. So I love stuff like that, Chris.
And
But that whole series had like great defense. Obviously, it was like you said, it was a wild series. It's two really good baseball teams.
yeah, the Cubs have gotten off to kind of a rickety start here. They had those 2 losses in Japan, and here they had it. And we talked about the bullpen having whatever it is, 4 new arms or whatever. that Saturday
Mm.
Sunday just wasn't good enough. Just, you have a 6-2 lead with 1 out in the 8th. You don't expect to see an 8 spot up there.
No, you do not.
Ugh, that is just tough. All right. More impressive weekend. Texas taking 3 of 4 against Boston in a matchup of preseason heavyweights, or the retooling Cards sweeping your Twins.
I'm not going to take the easy route out here. I'll talk about the Cardinals and the Twins. I think you're going to talk about the Rangers. Look, this is a team that we all wrote off. Every single person has written the Cardinals off. It's supposed to be a retooling year, whatever it is. But they came out and put the whooping on my Twins, man. And it starts with, the Twins didn't exactly hit. I told you before the show. You asked me what happened. I said, well, Correa, Wallner, and Buxton, I think, had 2 combined hits the entire time. Bailey Ober threw when he shouldn't have thrown. He was sick. But here we are sitting in the Cardinals now. We're saying, is Arenado going to have a resurgent year? Is he going to carry this team? Are some of the young guys going to step up? It was a great brand of baseball. The Twins really had, really no chance. I think in the first game, Wallner came up with a chance against Ryan Helsley, but Helsley just toyed with them. He looks absolutely filthy. So I'm happy for St. Louis. My Twins need to pick it up. I hope you're talking about the Rangers, because that was really fun. They beat the team that I think is going to be in the World Series, the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I do want to give a little credit to the Cards. I can't believe this. Is it really their first 3-0 start since 2006? Which ended up being a pretty special season for them.
They just win series. That's the Cardinals' way, Chris.
I guess so. In fact, they only swept 2 series of at least 3 games last year. Only 2 the whole season.
Really?
That's it. So they already got 1 under their belt.
People are reminding me that they did finish with a better record than the Twins last year. Pretty sure.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Twins really hit the shitter that bad in September, huh?
It did.
Oh, man, that's rough. Outscored Minnesota 19-6. This was nice for them because, to me, they're a little bit of a team without an identity. For decades, they have had the Cardinal way. They have had the identity, whether you've enjoyed it or not. They've had one. I think right now they don't know what they are. They had the offseason where they want to trade Nolan Arenado. He says no. Now we're going back and forth. Does he? Doesn't he? Arenado ends up hitting a homer this weekend. As he said, listen, it was special. It was emotional, the whole bit. I don't know what they're going to be this year. I don't think they're going to be great, but this was a good weekend for them. As
83 and 79 last year for the Cardinals, 82 and 80 for my Twins.
Okay. Didn't get that. Thank you. So Texas, I would not have expected them to win 3 of 4 without scoring more than 4 runs in a single game. I just thought that they would have had to mash at least one of those games. And this is huge because 2 of the question marks in the rotation, we talked about it last week. Jack Leiter probably pitched his best game as a big leaguer in game 2 of the season, went 5 innings, gave up 1 run. He has thrown the ball hard.
Yes, he is.
He's got a couple of new pitches, I believe. And more importantly, Jacob deGrom. He's got to be there every 5 days. I'm hoping he is. I don't know if he will be. But if they get what they got out of him Sunday, boy, they're going to be feeling so good. Because he was, for like 3 or 4 years, you can't miss his start good.
He looked great. And he was, I guess after the game, he was talking about how he wasn't, maxing out. And I believe he struck out 6 people all on off-speed pitches. The changeup was looking really good for him. So if he can kind of like mix that in a little bit more, are we going to see an evolution of Jacob deGrom? Because we do see that from pitchers that get older, the guys that throw really hard at the beginning of their careers have to figure a way out to kind of like stay in the league when their stuff diminishes. His stuff hasn't diminished much, but I think he's trying to purposely do that to stay on the field. And I want to know, I'm curious, is he going to start to throw that changeup more? Is he going to change the repertoire up a little bit to try to get to that, 27 to 30 start season that he hasn't obviously had in a long time? It's going to be definitely something to watch. But yeah, the Rangers look good. Red Sox not so good. A lot of people swinging the bat poorly to start the year off there.
Let's get to it. We're going to squeeze a bunch into this little segment because everybody panics on opening weekend, right? Or they're super elated and like, I can't believe we're off to this start and we look great and everybody's swinging it. As we all know, it's one weekend. But let's put it on a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of how worried fans should be with each of these. And let's start with Rafael Devers, who was just horrible, 0 for 16 with 12 strikeouts. Scale of 1 to 5. God, that picture just.
Yeah. So this is the stuff that kind of worries me. Obviously, this guy's got the contract. He's got the career. He should have all the confidence in the world. I think right now it's mental. There's obviously some mechanical stuff. He hasn't been able to hit the fastball. He's been a little bit late on it. I think that can change in a cage session. But when you're feeling like this, like that picture right there, that tells me there's something going on. I don't know if the confidence got shot by him going to DH. That was the whole drama. He didn't play a ton in spring training. He had some shoulder stuff. So I don't know if he's just not really ready for the season yet. Obviously, wasn't good for him. But I'll give a 3.5 to that.
Yeah, I might even put it a tick higher. Bob Nightingale put out some alarming stats. Dating back to last year, he had 6 straight games of at least 3 strikeouts. And that ended on Sunday when he only had 2 whiffs. But 6 straight for a guy that is that good. And in 14 of his last 90 games, he's struck out at least 3 times. Now, he even had to come out and say, hey, the DH thing is old news. I have moved on. I am the DH. But it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to think it. You tell me, is it possible he's still thinking he should be playing the field?
I don't think he's thinking I need to play the field. I think that maybe he feels slighted. Maybe he doesn't feel like the head honcho there anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like when you take that away from somebody, he starts to question some things and that can quickly spiral. And there's people who don't DH well. Like we looked at his stats, but during spring training when this is all going on, and they're down a little bit at DH, but nothing crazy, no drastic splits. But there are people that feel like they don't like to do it. So maybe he's one of those guys, but also it's probably just really early in the season and he'll be okay.
Okay, north of the border, Max Scherzer's first start as a Toronto Blue Jay abbreviated came out a little lat tightness, and then he's been complaining about his pitching thumb throughout all of spring training, and that's what landed him on the injured list. He said he's not coming back till that thing's fixed. Scale of 1 to 5.
Is this for Scherzer or for the Blue Jays?
Ooh, you take it any way you want.
I guess for Scherzer, I think this is a big deal, man. Anytime you're talking about pressure points on a baseball when you're a pitcher, like your thumb is, means a lot. Where you can put your thumb, the amount of pressure you can apply on it. So until that gets better, this is pretty alarming. I'll go another 3.5 for this one.
Yeah, this is really big for me. Last year, he made 9 starts. Now, it was hamstring and nerve issues for Scherzer, but he's 40 years old and is the only person on this show that can adequately answer what is it like to be over 40. In fact, if you had another decade, I can tell you about that one too. Now, I'm not a world-class athlete. It ain't fun. You just keep finding new shit.
You just don't heal as fast. That's what I'm finding out.
It's not just healing. Like when you get down on the floor, it's like a class project to get up sometimes. So I hope this isn't it. I hope, the last thing you want to see is, well, Max Scherzer was, he made 9 starts here and he made 11 there. And you're like, what? He totally limped to the finish line? That's not.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. But again, yeah, the thumb stuff is, and the lat too. I mean, those are 2 injuries for pitchers that are just, not great.
Roki, in his debut here in the States, did not make it out of the 2nd inning. And then he looked rather despondent afterwards. Some people thought he was tearing up. Maybe it was allergies. Maybe it was something else. Scale of 1 to 5. How worried are you for him?
I'm not worried. I don't think those are tears, Chris. I was trying to figure this out. Obviously, he's not happy with the way his season's or that game went, but are those tears?
I don't know. I mean, they look like they're glistening. Now, once again, we do live just down the road from Hollywood. There could be some special effects on that on that
It
camera.
was hot over the weekend.
Not at Dodger Stadium. It was
It
chilly.
wasn't?
No.
It was hot here. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm going to go with a 1.5 here.
So I am not worried at all about the Dodgers. I am worried about him. We had heard some questions about a manager or coach over in Japan worrying about him going to a big market when he was, trying to decide where he was going to land. And so he ends up in with one of the two biggest teams, and as far as Japan goes, the biggest with the Dodgers. So from that standpoint, and plus we talk about this all the time, it ain't easy coming over here and being a baller right out of the gate. There's a lot of adjustment. And the other thing is, he's 23. He is younger than my oldest son. I could just imagine Josh going over to Japan and they're expecting him to blow the doors off in whatever industry he's in. It doesn't happen right away.
But it will happen. And then once it works both ways. Yes. Like he's young. The mishaps are going to cause him to, have a reaction like that. But once he gets rolling a little bit, has a good start, and he feels the love of the city and the love of Major League Baseball, and we start talking about how good he is, I think it'll build up. But that is really when you first debut, you just want to get as a hitter, you want to get a hit, you want to drive in a run. For Roki, he hasn't really had a great start yet.
No.
So once he gets a good start and feels that, I think he'll be fine.
I think it has to start with a good inning. He had a 41-pitch first inning. He faced 8 batters, and on 4 of them, he went full.
9 walks in 4 2/3 innings. That ain't gonna fly.
Now the Dodgers don't have anything to worry about because they have so much pitching that's on standby, including a couple of guys who aren't going to be all that far away from coming back.
Question.
Yes.
Question. Ooh. This is a Chris Rose question.
Yeah. That'll mean it's mediocre.
5 starts, 3 more starts. We don't see much different. We see a couple 2 1/3, a 3 1/3. He's got options.
He does have options.
What do you think that happens?
No, because I think they need to see the whole plan is, in my opinion, is to have him ready for October. And I think the only way that he can get ready for October is by facing the best in the world now and taking his lumps.
I'm not panicking. I said 1.5. I think I'm going to stick with that number. I do think this will all sort itself out. He needs a good inning, like you said, or a start, whatever it is. But there's a world where that happens. There's a world where he goes down and has to, quote unquote, work on some stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think that's anytime soon. I think once those other guys start getting back here, then we'll have the discussion. For me, it's a 3 for him, and it's a -8 for the Dodgers. They're off to a 5-0 start for the first time since 1981, a year that they won the World Series. It's also the best start by a defending World Series champion since the 85 Tigers started 6-0. All right, last thing we're going to talk about, and this was really interesting. Not sure if you caught it Sunday in Cincinnati, but Robbie Ray was perfect through 5. And then he starts to get in a little bit of trouble, and he had a pitch clock violation. And then he gave up a homer, and then he gave up another homer. So it's 4-3 at that point, and the fans are like, oh, man, wait, that pitch clock violation really got to him. So why don't we do this?
Ray was ahead 1-2 on Austin Wins. Timer violation. Boom. They're counting down the pitch clock to Ray, and he walks him on 4. The violation could well be living in his head.
All right, scale of 1 to 5. How worried are you that this is going to catch on in Major League Baseball?
I mean, it's not going to catch on. I love it. I freaking love it. First of all, I miss those painted on pants. Robbie Ray, those things are tight, baby. I miss seeing that. Look, if you don't want to get the pitch clock yelled at by the crowd to you, just throw it a little earlier. I don't know. What are we doing here?
I mean, it's hilarious.
How can that bother you? How can a pitch clock bother you? How can I don't get it, dude.
Well, you mentioned earlier in the show about pitchers. They're a little batty. I love seeing it. All for it. I'll be curious if in his next road start, if we get a callback or not. If the fans are smart enough to do it.
Love this stuff is great, Chris.
Of course it's great. I love it. I think
you remember Cueto in Pittsburgh when they were chanting his name?
Yes. It was amazing.
He
And then we had
drops the
balk.
ball.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Great stuff. We've seen it a lot in college baseball. And that's where it gets a little dicey because those are young kids. And I get it. It's still fine. It's perfectly legal. It's not Bush League, but these are Robbie Ray's got a 9-figure contract and he'll figure it out. Interesting.
He'll be okay. He'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Do you think
Fans do all sorts of stuff that I like when there's like a collective chant. Even there's some silly stuff where they start going like "woo." You ever been in a ballpark when they start doing that?
Yeah.
At, like the end of games.
Yeah. So his next start is going to be at home against Seattle. Okay. And then after that, guess where his next road start's likely going to be?
I'm guessing against the Mets.
You're close.
Dodgers.
No, you were very close with the Mets, like
Oh,
a
Bronx?
couple of stops away
In the Bronx.
in the Bronx.
They're
Yeah,
definitely
those-
gonna do it there.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't
feeling
get it.
Yankee fans are feeling so froggy right now. Oh my god. They're even complimenting me on social media. That's how
know.
I know things are going good for the Yankees.
All right, this was a great one. Monday episodes are awesome because my baseball belly is full. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the video, do the same with Dugout Discussions with Chris Rose, Mike Trout, Questions with the Queen. We just taped Tarek Skubal for next week. We're on a roll. I don't want to jinx our next one, but we got another good one in the hopper. And thank you for following us and subscribing and enjoying all the content. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Tuesday here on Baseball Today.